Welcome to Positive Recovery MD. If you're listening, chances are you want to create happiness around you and thrive in your life. We're glad you're here and you've come to the right place. This podcast will inspire and motivate you to not merely survive your recovery journey, we'll give you the tools to build or strengthen your foundation to thrive and flourish in your life. Each week, we'll come together as a community to have authentic conversations around addiction, recovery, and what matters. Growth and progress, not perfection. All while developing positive habits for you to utilize in your life. To learn more, please visit positiverecoverymd.com to sign up to receive the daily positive interventions that we'll review, as well as gain access to exclusive Positive Recovery content available only to Positive Recovery MD listeners. All right, let's get started.
Good day. Welcome, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, to another installment of Positive Recovery MD with your co-host, Dr. Jason Powers, co-host, Jamie Demeris, and I'm going to let him introduce his buddy,
Nathan Herrington. Hello, everyone. So I get the honor of introducing Nathan Herrington because Nathan Herrington made such an impact on my life from the first day that I met him. And it was done by the way that he shows up in life. Like he literally shows up with a passion to empower people to live their best lives. And he's turned into a good friend who has recently started his own business, which is My Habits Coach. And it is a phenomenal program that's done via Zoom. And I've had the privilege of going through the habits program that he has. And so I'm going to just say this about Nathan. Meeting Nathan, I'm just going to tell a quick story about him. When I was doing this 40-day program with Nathan, I remember walking in one morning and it was 5:30 in the morning and I was just down and he's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I have to come today because if I don't come, I'm not going to finish the program." He goes, "Yeah, I got it. But you realize you don't have to be here." And I'm like, No, you don't get it. I have to be here." He goes, "Yeah, no, seriously, you don't have to be here." And it was then that I realized I didn't have to be there. I was choosing to be there, but the energy that I was creating was that I had to. And it's little moments like that he continually makes an impact in my life with just such subtle teachings. And it's an honor. So thank you, Nathan, for being here.
Yeah, that's an awesome story, Nathan. I love that. The reframing is very powerful. And for our listeners who don't know him, he lives in Houston with his dog, Gretchen. He's in a long-term relationship with his partner, Akash, who is at Duke pursuing what degree?
It's a Master's of Business Administration combined with a Master's of Environmental Management.
Okay.
So that means he's a smarty pants.
Well, you're smarty pants too. You, from the University of Houston, you had a bachelor's degree in Español y Francés, yes?
Yes. Good job. Great pronunciation there.
Yes. Well, I only do one French accent, and that's what. So like, I think what kind of gives you a complete picture is that you've done everything, right? We were with Landmark. You've got now you're a My Habits coach, which I want to get into because I love the science of habit. And I don't know if you know positive psychology at all, but yeah, it's huge in that. And he spent most of his life in Houston, which is good. Like me, probably like Jamie. Background in education and transformational leadership. He loves working with people to create extraordinary lives and for them to experience themselves in whole, powerful, and capable ways. So besides the story that Jamie told, if you think about like, if I had to tell a story of someone else, not Jamie, when I helped usher in like a transformation, does anything come to mind? Any magical leprechaun moment? No?
For myself or for somebody else?
Well, it's like you helping others, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can think of a bunch. The first one that I think of is actually from one of the programs that I'm running right now through My Habits Coaching. So my sort of flagship program is a program called the 21-Day Habits Challenge. And the people who sign up for that program, what they do is they pick one or two areas of their lives where they want to create a new habit. And sometimes they're really clear, like they know exactly what habit, like I'm going to eat more vegetables, right? Or like I'm going to go to bed on time or something like that. And then sometimes they just have like an area of life where they are either stuck or they want to, break through something or just create something new, right? Like maybe there's nothing wrong with the area. They just sort of like want to like add some new life to it. And there was a woman in the very first program we did, and she came to me and she's like, we were mid-pandemic, and she said, I want to impact my relationship with my kids. She has a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old. And she said, we've been spending more time together during the pandemic than we ever have before. And yet like, we're no more connected, right? She's like, we don't like actually see, like we see each other all the time, but we don't see each other. And so she was like, I need some help. I don't know what to do. Through the program, one of the things that I work with people on is distinguishing effective actions, right? Actually articulating, like, what do you actually on the core of your life need to do to develop and sustain habits? And so what she got to was that the action that she needed to take, and that if she took it recurringly, that it actually could sort of impact overall the quality of her relationship with her kids, was that when they walk in the room, her job was to close the laptop and look at them, right? And that if she had that sort of like be like the, Charles Duhigg talks about the habit reward loop. So every habit has a cue, a routine, and a reward. That if she had the cue called them walking in, and the routine be close her laptop and look at them, then on the other side of that, there could be a lot of different things. There could be a, hey kids, how's it going? There could be hey kids, come over and sit on the sofa with me, or hey kids, let's go, for a walk. But that the action that would sort of set any of those possibilities in motion would be, closing her laptop and looking at them. And we do a completion celebration for the 21 days. And she said, she was like, I have a completely new relationship with my kids. And she told me that on day 20, she has a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old, and that the 10-year-old was like, Mom, how kids like kind of sometimes give backhanded compliments that really are like positive feedback. She was like, Mom, you're being such a better mom now. She's like, I hope you keep up with your challenge. But it was like, Mom, you're doing a good job. Like, keep it up. So
did the child know what behavior modification she made, or she wasn't explicit about it?
No, so one of the things that I coach people in is to go and tell the people around you what you're working on. So yes, the daughter knew, right? She knew exactly what she was working on.
And the behavior though, she knew exactly that the closing of the laptop and looking at it.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, because my thought would be that if you didn't tell them what you were up to, they would be like, man, Mom's acting weird, right? Because there's a behavior that's different than what they're used to, that this kind of helps them out to let them know what she's up to so that they can be aware and not think something's wrong. It's actually something good.
Yeah, I'd be afraid of announcing the cause and effect. Like, okay, kids, I'm going to do this so that we're closer. And I feel like the so that part would then make them farther away. They're kids. And then they would just like, well, it's not going to work. And then they would make it not work. But
sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it kind of depends on how you communicate something like that.
Or you just have different kids than mine. I think that's
maybe so, right? Yeah. Who knows?
or it's just an excuse because you're afraid they're going to hold you accountable.
No. So I like that part. I like I like that part. I just think hey, this is what it's intended for. I don't know that would translate, but I love the accountability part. And I hear you. I think like, if you're going to quit smoking, tell everybody. If you want to stop eating sugar, tell everybody, like whatever it might be. And it's interesting because, hearing what you do, the 21-day challenge, habit challenge, it seems like most people would think I have to have something in mind. And I like how you kind of work with somebody and help prescribe. You're not prescriptive, but you help get concrete with like arenas of their life. So somebody can come to you not knowing what they want to do.
Yeah.
And you help them. And I think that's pretty neat.
I find it interesting that when you go into a habit to create a habit, that you're actually not creating a new habit of playing with the children, but changing a behavior that was keeping you from them. Like a lot of times I would think that it's about going and making sure that I'm going outside with my kids or going and doing this with my kids or that. But instead it's actually finding the areas that are keeping you from it and changing that habit?
Well, so it's got to be both, actually, right? And that was sort of why it was important that she got to close the laptop, right? Because that is a new action, right? So our brains don't do well. And I'm curious, Dr. Powers, what sort of you have to say about this, but like our brains don't do well with simply not something.
Right. Avoidance. Right.
Yeah. Like, because whatever sort of neuronal pathways you have laid out that are stay in the laptop, keep doing this, right? It's like, if it's just not that, you don't have anything new in your brain, right? You don't have any like new pathways to go down. And so yeah, it was like the getting clear and specific about look at them and then, close the laptop and look at them. And then there's also kind of a practice of non-attachment in that, right? If you want to sort of bring in the yoga world, you can't make your kids have a great relationship with you. There might be some times where you're like, hey kids, what's going on? And they're like, oh, hey mom, and keep running through the room. But it's like, what's the action you're doing? What's the thing you're doing?
What that speaks to is the difference between an avoidance goal and an approach goal.
Yes.
So an avoidance goal is, in our world, avoiding triggers.
Yes.
Right? If you spend all your time avoiding triggers, well, this is what happens, versus approach goals are something that you want the neuronal pathways or whatever, you want to bring into your life. Like, I want more positivity in my life. I want to engage my character strengths and then to flow more. I want to be a better friend and have more supportive relationships. I want more meaning and purpose in my life, and I want more achievement. Translated in diet terms, it's like, I'm going to avoid fats versus I'm going to eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day.
Yes.
We do better with approach goals than avoidance goals.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And, I feel like it's useful to know what you're avoiding, right? It's just not enough. It's just not enough to be able to have not articulated the direction you want to go.
Right. And you know what? Addiction is a lifestyle that subsumes the person. It takes their volition. It robs them of their hopes and dreams. It's sort of like, it's its own motor, right?
Yes.
It's like, cocaine uses itself.
I want to reverse a question back to you, Dr. Powers, because I know in positive psychology, there's the negativity bias. Yeah. Are we wired to go towards the avoidance approach versus the...
No. Okay. So Nathan, you know what a negativity bias is?
I can kind of guess, but unpack it for me.
Sure. It's a pesky, irritating thing in our brain that is subconscious, but has been hardwired over millions of years of evolution. That frightening images, dangerous gossip, like bad gossip, angry faces, dangerous people, like those types of things capture our attention and stay in our memory far longer and more powerfully than positive, right? Yeah. So the thing is, like, it helped us survive. That's why it's so strong. Imagine you're a little fish in the sea and you're hunting for food. Food's good. That's positive. But if you fail to notice the rustling in the leaves down there, the grass might be a bigger predator, and you don't hide to live another day, you're going to die. Chances are, if you kind of danger first mentality, negativity, but then you're going to hide. It's kind of like a lizard. When I was a kid, I would love to see lizards, and they would just see me as a threat. They would run away, and I never tormented them. I'd be hurt because I'm so codependent.
You never pulled the tails off of them?
By accident once, and I felt so bad I never did it again. But I heard that they regenerate, so that I got to sleep again. But no, so the thing is, our brains are hardwired to remember what's wrong, so that here's what happens, right? If there's no threat going on right now, our brains are telling us, if I don't see a threat, I'm not looking hard enough. So you're or you imagine something happening in the future that's going to be terrible, right? This is how I understand survivalist mentality. It's just that part of the brain is super strong, and they haven't been aware enough, or they don't rewire it, because we can rewire it, but there's nothing happening now. I'm not looking hard enough, or something's going to happen. I'm not going to be able to handle it then. The thing is, you can rewire your brain. It's a habit, but man, you have to always be on guard. You slip back into automatic processes. But if you're always thinking about, if you're writing the good script in your head, I joke a lot, but it is all about constantly rewriting the script and constantly filling with positive habits. And think about it. Good habits are so easy to break. If a good habit is going to the gym, dude, I'm already not doing it.
Right.
I already succeeded in breaking it. Or like,
I'm already winning at that.
I know. But, on the flip side, bad habits are really easy to start. Right now, I'm not at the gym. So I'm doing, so whatever it might be, like it's opposite. Good habits are very easy to break, but very hard to start.
Yeah.
Bad habits, the opposite. So we always have to be on, it's like there's no holiday, but also, where the benefits are growth,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll say, so that's a big part of why I work with people on structures. So sort of the two frameworks I work with are the habit reward loop, which I just talked about. And then something I designed, which I call the methodology for creating and sustaining new habits.
Okay. Unpack that, because that sounds great. Don't fly over that. Okay.
Has 3 pieces, right? So first there's mindset, right? So you've got
growth versus fixed mindset or something else?
Well, you got to deal with that. You have a mindset about everything in your life.
Okay.
Right. And that, first of all, if the first mindset that you've got to deal with is and this kind of points to growth versus fixed mindset, but you got to deal with your mindset about habits themselves.
Right.
Right. So our habits, do you say, is your view that habits are malleable, right? Or most people sort of walk into a habits challenge and are like, oh, habits are so hard to get over. And which is maybe in some sense true, but if that's all you've got your attention on, it's, game over, right? Right. So that's the world of mindset. Then the second piece, and this speaks to the negativity bias and an access to, dealing with that, is structures. Right. So whenever I talk about structures, I mean anything that keeps your commitment, like what you're working on, what you want, alive in distance, time, and form outside of your brain. Right. So there's 3 types of structures. There is existence systems. So existence systems are your calendar, your alarms on your phone, Post-it notes that have, the mindset that you're creating for the day on it, like that, right?
Yep.
So that's existence systems. The next one is infrastructure, right? So infrastructure is, is your desk set up for productivity, right? If you have, if you're committed to food, like meal planning and meal prep, do you have, Tupperware containers and are those clean and ready to use, and are they accessible and like that, right? So that's infrastructure. And then the third piece of structure is people, right? Like the people around you. And I think about people as being there's 3 different kinds of people you want to engage in your habits formation. There are allies, right? So allies are people who are like in the same game as you, maybe they're out to form the same habits as you, or they're sort of generally in a growth and development game. There's backup singers, right? Your backup singers are like when you need a friend, like phone a friend. It could be, in recovery, there's the sort of role.
You can do it, guy.
Yeah. There's the role of the sponsor, right? Exactly. Like I'm about to, down this bag of Cheetos, and that's not what I'm, that's what I'm saying about what I said I would do.
Yes. It just goes do up.
Exactly.
You can just go to a meeting and get a whole choir.
Exactly. And then the third is community, right? Is what are the communities that you're participating in, and do those support what it is that you're up to? So that's all of those things. So mindset, structure, and then action. And we can talk about, we kind of already said a little bit about action, but those are the 3 things that constitute the methodology for creating and sustaining new habits. If you get those 3 things right, your chances of success go through the roof.
Totally. I love it. Although the constructs I think are your own, all of those are elements of different evidence-based constructs, right? That
totally.
I love how people have 2 selves. I didn't make this up, but it's like we have a today self and a tomorrow self. Everybody's tomorrow self is perfect. It, is generous, is, calling friends, is going to the gym. Like our today self knows that if we set the alarm, our tomorrow self will dutifully get up and go to the gym. But when the alarm goes off, our today self hits the snooze.
That's right.
That. And then positive psychology is evidence-based. So it's not self-help. So that we avoid that stuff. But mindset, although we have a different mindset, we have growth fixed mindset. It's the work of Carol Dweck. But my professor used to give this example. I love it. He's like, if you're doing a marathon, if you're running a marathon, you're on mile 20 and your legs are tired and you just want to quit. What thought will help you finish the race? I'm tired. This sucks. I'm not going to make it. Like, habits are terrible. Or I'm going to make it. This is going to be great. He's like, that thought alone isn't going to finish the race. But which one's more helpful? I love that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's very cool.
Yeah. So like getting people to take more stairs. There's something called nudge. Have you heard of that book?
I just heard of that yesterday.
Dude,
somebody just mentioned it to me.
Yeah. So like, I'm not sure the nuances of like, is it structural, environmental, but we want to get people to do more exercise. So taking stairs instead of escalators is good, but you can't just like stick them next to each other. Because that really great meme is people will take an escalator to the gym when there's stairs right there.
Right.
If you make the stairs like pianos that light up, people go up and down.
Yes.
Like this YouTube awesome thing in Norway, I think, and they made it and people started using the stairs. People are healthier. If you make the garbage cans sound like an emptyless, like a bottomless pit, and you throw it in, it's like, people use that and don't throw things away. If you put part of people's paycheck, they sign in for it, right? Part of people's paycheck into a safe long-term investment, they don't need to worry about Social Security because that money grows. There's lots of examples like that are evidence-based. Of course, you can't do things without their permission, but there's ways to make people's lives easier to form and sustain those habits that they want. And then there's ways that don't, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love what you're saying about like the piano stairs, and inevitably I come across people who are like not structures people, right? And I'm putting that in air quotes for those of you that are just listening to this is, because there's like, creatives or structures people. And that's not a real, construct, right? It's just a construct. And one of the things that I love is when you bring creativity to structures, right? Like when you're creating like a tracking chart for, Jerry Seinfeld talks about like how he does stand up, like, or practices jokes like every single day. In his game, he has like a 365-day deal where he X's off, and his game is like, don't break the chain, right? But if you're going to create something like that, like make it beautiful, like spend the time to have it be something that when you see it, it makes you feel a certain way, right. When I create my calendar occasions, in my Google Calendar, like one thing I learned to do a long time ago is to write the occasion as the accomplishment that is, right? So like, what are you accomplishing during that hour? So rather than like writing in your calendar, go to the gym, right? You can write something like, I'm creating a stronger body and a stronger mind. Right. Something very simple like that.
But
so
anyways, know what that means. You know what that means. It's not like the time comes like, oh crap, what am I supposed to be doing now?
Right. Obviously,
where am I supposed to be? Right.
You have to do it like sufficient that it like also communicates what it is, right? Like you can't just put, have fun in every calendar occasion if you have an intention to have fun in everything you're doing. But yeah, it's like you articulate what the underlying sort of habit or intention, the bigger picture thing that you're out to accomplish. And
I love that. I'm going to start using that. I love that. Okay. So let me ask you, what is your favorite word?
Oh, that's a good question. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna throw a foreign language word in here. It's not a language that I speak. It's a German word that I think we use in English from time to time. It's in Listen schreiben, and it's a special German word that means the joy derived from crossing things off a list. There's like a specific kind of joy that comes from that they have a specific word for.
Love it, man. Yeah, German. There's a word in German for like peeing right before you go to bed. Like it's the act of peeing and going to bed, which basically makes a lot of sense. It should be one word. It's one thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Joy.
What's your favorite word?
Dude, I'm the one asking the questions. But I would have to go with.
Got it. Okay.
What's your least favorite word?
Okay, I'll say the first one that came to mind. And this is going to be kind of controversial, okay? I get really annoyed by the word toxic.
Okay.
I feel like that gets kind of overused, and that there are places and times where people use that as a way of making other people wrong.
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah, it's kind of like addiction is thrown around so much like a synonym. Oh man, I'm addicted to tennis. Dude, you have no idea.
Right.
I mean, yeah, okay. All right. What's your favorite sound? Again, I'd have to go with boop in case you ask.
I know now I was kind of like filtering what I was going to say through you having said boop. I was like, does he mean the sound like boop? Can I have two?
Dude, yes.
Two like came to mind right at the same time. So I have 3 nephews that are 7 and 3 and 2, and they're just like boys. They're like little boys, and they like run around and wrestle and laugh, and I like love the sound of their laughing. Like That's it's awesome. Just the best thing ever. And then the other one, so I really love gospel music, like big black church gospel music.
Totally.
And I was actually in a gospel choir. I've been in 2 different gospel choirs, once in high school and once as an adult. And I can listen to gospel music all day, every day.
Dude, me too. I think it's called Stubbs Barbecue in Austin that has gospel brunch on Sunday.
I've been there.
Okay,
yeah,
yes.
It's so good.
Amazing.
It's so good. We have one in Houston too. Well, we had one in Houston. I don't know if they still do it. The Red Cat Jazz Cafe downtown did a gospel brunch for a little while as well.
Yeah, like I'll check it out. I love that. Okay, what's your least favorite sound? Chalkboard.
Nails on a chalkboard.
That's what I answered when I was on the podcast.
We can go with that.
My worst.
No. You have to have your own. And you can't have the same as Jamie. That's the only rule.
I mean, I guess there's certain. I can't think of any. I don't really like the sound of car horns.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. What turns you on? What gets your engine revving?
Yeah. In life. Well, here's one thing that I really love taking transformational work into environments that aren't already like primed for it. I've taken like yoga and mindfulness practices into like different corporate America settings. Like I did something with Ernst & Young and the Alliant Group. And I just love like kind of going and like interrupting. I love the challenge of that, like interrupting people's sort of the drift that they're in. That gets me, that turns me on for sure.
What turns you off?
This is kind of like you're not going to like my answer, but
Is it me? If it's me, that's the only thing I won't like.
No, you're warming up to me, Jason.
Okay, good.
No, I'm pretty unturn-offable.
Okay, no, that's great. That's a good answer. What vocation would you, in an alternate universe, you cannot do what you're doing now?
Yeah, I have
what do you think you'd love to have a stab at?
Being a Broadway actor, singer.
Nice.
100%.
Okay, what's your favorite song? Give us like a little refrain. I know you sing it all the time.
This isn't my favorite one, but it's the first one that came to mind is from Dear Evan Hansen, You Will Be Found. Y'all know it?
No, will you step back and sing it like you're on Broadway?
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. That's all I'm giving you.
Wow, good job.
That's good. I like the intonation and pitch. It was great.
Thank you.
Well, you turned it. Okay. What the hell did I just ask you? Oh, least favorite sound. No, you're unturn-offable. What vocation would you love to do? What vocation, if we forced you to do, would you loathe?
Oh, I can think a lot of.
Oh, nothing. I'm unturn-offable. I would like
to. Okay, I see what you did there.
I'm sorry, I'm messing with you. I like that.
No, it's all good. I don't know. I don't think I'd be very excited to be a garbage collector.
Okay, gotcha. And let's assume there's a God. When you die, what would you like to hear coming out of God's mouth to you?
You did a great job.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So the third part of the podcast usually involves a positive intervention. what we're going to do today instead is a little exercise. Cool. So get a pen and paper, or pencil and paper. No problem.
I know right where one is.
Okay, you got it? All right.
Yep.
So, okay, we're going to do this somewhat quick because of time, but okay. So write down your favorite color and then list 3 adjectives describing the color. Like, what about it makes it your favorite?
What do you call it when something can go like not like diverse, like it
versatile.
Versatile. Good job.
You got it.
Yeah. Okay.
You're finished. Okay. Then your favorite animal. So whatever your favorite animal is, be anything. Okay. Mine was a human, believe it or not. So it could be any animal, and then 3 adjectives describing that and why is your favorite? Like, okay, favorite body of water. And so when I say that, it can be Pacific Ocean, it can be a sauna, a waterfall, a drop of sweat hanging from Brad Pitt's belly button. And I use that exact example because somebody used it on me.
Got it.
It could be, in other words, it could be any body of water, but instead of 3 adjectives, when you think of that body of water, how do you feel? 3 feelings. Good?
Yep.
Okay. Now close your eyes and imagine you're in an all-white room. So you wake up and you're in a white room. It can have a window, door, bed, table. It can have anything in it, but everything is absolutely white. How do you feel? 3 feelings. Yeah, you can open your eyes if you're going to. Okay. So that's part 1. Part 2 is I'm going to lead you through like a guided imagery, and you're just going to write down, just take notes. Like I'll ask you specific questions. You'll see what I mean.
Great.
Okay, cool. So you are walking through a forest, and it can be anywhere in the world or the universe or make believe. And you're there, you're walking. So kind of like just jot quickly, like what kind of day is it? Like, where are you? What are you walking on? Are you, sort of like, you like trudging through the undergrowth of a rainforest? Are you on a path? Are you on a, like a mountainside forest type of thing? Like just, what kind of day is it? What do you hear? What do you smell? Okay, good. So you're walking and you see a key. There's a key. What kind of key is it? What do you do with it? What is it doing there? You can jot that down. Like, what kind of key is it? Like, why is it there? And what do you do with it? And you're walking. And then you see a cup, any cup you want, anything. Just what kind of cup is it? Why is it there? Like, how did it get there? And what do you do with it? Good. Okay. And you're walking, and all of a sudden, a member of the cat family, any cat, it can be a leopard, puma, Garfield, the cartoon cat, any cat, but all of a sudden, like, catches you by surprise, jumps out of nowhere, and you guys lock eyes. So describe, like, what kind of cat is it? And what is the interaction like? Like, what happens as a result?
Okay.
Yeah, anything goes here. It's your forest.
Visualization, yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. After that encounter, you're walking, and you see a body of water. There's a body of water, and it can be anything in the world. What is it? What's the body of water? And what do you do? Like anything? You just jot down kind of what comes in your head. Cool. And you're walking, and then you come across a wall that goes on like forever in each direction. It's like, what kind of wall is it? What's it doing there? What do you do? Awesome. Okay, so who wants to go first? What's your favorite color, adjectives, that type?
I'll go.
Okay.
So my favorite color is navy blue, and the reason the 3 things I like, why I like it is because it's deep, rich, and versatile.
Okay.
My favorite animal is a specific animal. It's my dog Gretchen, and I like her because she's friendly, forgiving, and energetic.
Okay.
My favorite body of water is the beach, the Pacific Ocean in Tamarindo, Costa Rica.
Okay.
Okay. And how I feel when I sort of imagine myself there is relaxed, inspired, and exhilarated. In the white room, I felt light, uncertain, and awake.
Okay. All right, Jamie.
We stopping there?
No. You do. What are yours?
But there's more, isn't there?
Right. Oh, sorry. Yes. Just the first part.
Okay. The first part. Okay. My favorite color is navy blue. but I only was able to get versatile because I was led to it, but that was the word I was looking for. And it wears well. I'm wearing navy blue as we speak.
Okay.
The next one was the animal, which was my dog, my late dog, Jack. He was an angel, a lifesaver. He was loyal. He actually passed away on my sobriety date when I had 12 years sober. And I knew that he basically said, I've done my job. You're good. I can go now. So the body of water, is that the next one?
Yes.
Okay. So the body of water is actually a float spa, like with Epsom grade salt, high grade magnesium Epsom salt that you literally float in. And the words that I used were calm, bliss, and zen.
Okay.
The clear day. Wait, the next one is the room. I felt the white room. I felt clean, calm, and creative.
All right. So first part, the favorite color versus the favorite animal. So the favorite color is what you think others think of you or what image you want to portray, versus favorite animal is how you see yourself, irrespective of the world. Like your internal view, you're both dogs, right? Not literally, but like, so Nate, friendly, forgiving, energetic, and, Jamie, versatile, angelic, loyal. I can't read my writing, but so that's like how you guys see yourself. And then the color is how I hate to say mask, because it also could be what you see reflected, like what you think others think of you. And, versatile, deep, rich. I love it. Wears well, kind of looks good, right? Looks good.
Classy.
Somebody that like wears a mask and is like their animal and their color, the descriptions are like as far apart as heaven and hell, right? Somebody who is completely authentic, there's some overlap, and not necessarily the words are the same, but ideas commingle, which I think that in your cases do. The body of water represents sex, so you feel relaxed. Can't read my writing. Exhilarated,
inspired, and exhilarated.
Right? Exactly. Jamie,
calm, bliss, and zen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then the white room represents death, like finality. So light, uncertain, and I can't read my writing.
Awake.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie, I
clean, calm, and creative.
Okay. Yeah. And again, look, this is just a game, but
I like it though. It's good.
Okay. So, Nathan, what was your day like? Describe the forest and.
Okay. So there I am. I'm walking through Eno River State Park, which is a state park right outside of Durham, North Carolina. And it's sunny. And it's been raining, but it's sunny now, right? So it's kind of muddy, but it's clear and cool outside. And there I am, and I see the key. It's a gold house key, and so I pick it up, and ostensibly somebody lost it. I pick it up with the intention of putting it like by the entrance of the state park.
All right, cool. And then
keep going.
Yeah. What?
Okay. So then I find a styrofoam cup that some shithead littered, right? So I pick that up with the intention of throwing it away. But before I can do either one of those things, a lion jumps out and eats me.
That's the interaction.
That was the interaction. Yeah. And that just came to my mind before I could think of anything else. So then a sense then the rest of this is, I guess it's just my ghost walking to, and I arrived to, guess where? The Tamarindo, Costa Rica, right?
Okay.
And as soon as I get there, I grab a surfboard, I jump in the ocean, I surf a little bit, and then I get back out and I walk. And then I come to the wall that I come to. You said it extended like forever in both directions. So I climb up on this wall, and obviously you can't see this far, but like I just got a sense that it went all the way from where I was to the tip of South America. Right, like all the way down, like Chile and Argentina, whatever sort of as far as the south point is, up to North America, like the top of north of Canada. And I just climbed up on it and I looked at it, and I think that was it.
What was on the other side? Did you see anything on the other side? No, you don't have to.
No, it wasn't like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe or anything. It was just the other side.
Okay, Jamie.
All right. So I was walking down a small creek. The water was just kind of rolling over the stones and the rocks there. And I walked up to one of those gold keys that like you see in the movies. That
skeleton key.
One of those. What is it called?
A skeleton key?
A skeleton key.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was for, but I knew that I was supposed to find out what it was for. And then I walked and there was this gold chalice and I didn't know what the cup was for. So I took the cup trying to figure out what the cup was for.
Like a chalice, you mean like Jesus's Last Supper chalice?
Exactly.
The Holy Grail? Got it.
Yeah. Like each one of these was carrying some type of purpose for me that I was trying to figure out.
Okay.
So then is this where the lion comes in?
Or any kind of cat. Yeah.
It was Simba. And we sang Lion King.
Oh, sweet.
Exactly what happened. And then you get to the wall, right?
Body of water.
The body of water. Oh, so the body of water was a lake and we jumped in and we started swimming and we were playful.
Okay.
And then we came to the wall. And when we got to the wall, all I could think of was when there was a time when I just didn't know if I believed in God and somebody was asking me what my belief was. And I said, to be honest with you, my belief in God, it's like when you look out into outer space that the space just keeps going, like it never ends. Like if you did reach a wall somewhere out there in outer space, that there's got to be something on the other side of the wall. You just don't know. And it's so mind-boggling that I don't think about it.
Right.
And so when I got to the wall, what I saw was a wall that just kept going, that I didn't know where it ended, kind of like space.
Right.
And then I just stopped there.
Interesting. Okay. So that's great. So the first thing's the key. The key is symbolic for knowledge, like how you view knowledge. People that respect it a lot typically will have a skeleton key, something that is, traditional, ancient, house keys also, because knowledge is practical, like a home. And there's a lot. I'm not going to psychoanalyze you, but there's a lot. So don't feel bad you don't have a skeleton key. That's the number one answer on Family Feud, but big deal. And the number two most common, the cup symbolizes religion. So people that are religious, especially Christian, most of the time have a golden chalice. Have that.
My mom's going to love hearing that.
Or a wooden chalice, right? But styrofoam, like some shithead threw away, is really interesting. Considering your history, I don't know what your view is, but I would guess. I don't know.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of that there. I think I put in my bio.
Yes.
My dad's a minister,
Exactly.
but in the Wizard of Oz, it's like, are you a good witch or are you a bad witch kind of thing. My dad's a good witch, so
okay.
I don't want to say that.
He's still a witch. Interesting.
Well, we're all kind of witches.
Okay, and then so Nathan, I believe you just wrote down what first came to mind, because the cat represents our problems and how we deal with them. And somebody who isn't destroyed by them or run by them will sing a Broadway song with them. They'll lock eyes and then it'll be like, okay, I got this. Somebody who generally is like a disaster, an emotional mess, will like, and they'll run away from it. You getting eaten, I think, is just creativity and speed. Like, first thing that came to mind, you wanted to be good and let's get this over with. But I think if you thought of it, it would be a different.
Well, he could have ran towards it.
Into it.
Yeah. Not away from it. You were running into the problem and he just happened to eat you.
Yeah, let's run with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
I'll
that.
take it.
I don't see you running from anything.
And then, the body of water, again, sex, people like run, swimming, it'll feel good. They'll surf, whatever. And then the wall symbolizes, the afterlife. Nothing on the other side. Very interesting. Might be an atheist. Who knows? Jamie, your mom would be proud because you said God. You said God. Like, God, I don't know about this wall.
I also picked up the gold chalice, so I was religious too.
You're set, man.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. I don't know what this key or the chalice do, but I'll find out. You are very curious. Everything. So that's definitely in line. And you could do this with people you love. You'll be surprised at, because the answers now. And it's like, that's why I was laughing at times when you guys gave answers. So they're like, they're going to love what this means.
Yeah.
And this is only a game. This is not a therapeutic tool we use in medicine. This is just a game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting too. It brings something up that I wanted to say to kind of spin back to what Nathan's up to and what he's doing. When I experienced his habit challenge and I was going in to change a habit, it's so interesting how we don't think about a lot of things. But then when we put our attention on it and start to get curious about it and think about it, there's so many different layers to it that we just go by, and there are habits that we don't even realize how they're generated. Like thinking about some of these things, we don't do that very often. So having conversations like this with our family and friends can open up so much that we never knew about people.
Yeah, it's like awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool. Well, let me know how Akash answers these, and
I will.
I have a hard stop because I've got telemedicine at 4. But thank you, Nathan, so much.
Oh my God, this is so fun.
I know,
so great. Thank you,
again. Jamie. Thank you for co-hosting. This has been great.
Yes, it's been a pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as we did. And remember, life is short, so be good to yourself and others.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Positive Recovery MD. Don't forget to visit positiverecoverymd.com to sign up to get your daily positive intervention sent straight to your inbox. Be sure to subscribe to Positive Recovery MD on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts to receive an automatic download when a new episode drops. And as always, if you or someone you know needs help, visit positiverecovery.com or call 877-4-SOBRIETY, which is 877-476-2743. We are here to help.